The morning sunlight spilled across the city like a promise, but for 36-year-old Rowan Mercer, promises had become dangerous things to believe in. Every sunrise reminded him that another day had begun without the woman he had loved, another day of trying to be both father and mother to the 6-year-old boy who still reached toward empty spaces whenever he dreamed. Life had taught Rowan to smile through exhaustion, yet on that particular bright morning, a single unexpected conversation would change everything. Before we begin this emotional journey, if you believe kindness deserves a second chance and that ordinary people can create extraordinary miracles, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Journey. Your support helps more heartfelt stories reach people who need hope. Rowan worked as a freelance building maintenance specialist, accepting whatever honest work came his way. His clothes were always clean but worn, his hands carried tiny scars from years of repairing things other people had given up on, and his greatest treasure was his cheerful little son, Noah. Every morning they walked together beneath bright blue skies, laughing about imaginary adventures while sharing homemade sandwiches packed in simple paper bags. Money was never enough, but somehow Rowan always found a reason to smile because Noah believed his father could fix anything. That innocent faith became Rowan's greatest strength and greatest burden. He never wanted his son to discover how frightened he truly was every time rent came due or another unexpected expense appeared. Across the city, 40-year-old CEO Evelyn Carter seemed to possess everything success could buy. She led one of the country's fastest-growing technology companies from a stunning glass headquarters filled with polished floors, green indoor gardens, and employees who admired her discipline. Business magazines celebrated her achievements almost every month. Investors trusted her decisions without hesitation. Yet when the elevators closed and the office lights dimmed each evening, Evelyn returned to a quiet penthouse where silence echoed through rooms designed for a family that had never existed. She had sacrificed birthdays, holidays, friendships, and countless opportunities for love while building an empire. The applause of boardrooms faded quickly inside an empty home. One sunny weekday, Rowan arrived at Evelyn's headquarters to repair an air conditioning system that had unexpectedly failed. Since Noah's school had closed early for a community event, Rowan had no choice but to bring his son along. Noah carried a tiny backpack decorated with colorful stars and politely greeted every employee they passed. His bright curiosity transformed nervous office workers into smiling strangers within minutes. While Rowan focused on repairing complicated machinery, Noah sat quietly nearby drawing pictures of superheroes protecting families. During a short lunch break in the rooftop garden overlooking the sparkling city, fate quietly arranged an encounter no one could have predicted. Evelyn stepped outside to escape another exhausting meeting and noticed Rowan sharing homemade sandwiches with Noah beneath the shade of a flowering tree. They laughed over simple jokes as birds chirped around them. There were no expensive meals, no luxury decorations, no photographers capturing perfect moments. Yet the happiness between father and son seemed richer than anything she had experienced in years. She walked closer, drawn by something she could not explain. Watching Noah proudly offer half his cookie to his father before taking a bite himself filled her heart with unexpected emotion. Without thinking, Evelyn softly admitted that she wished she had a happy family like theirs. Rowan laughed gently, assuming it was harmless conversation, and jokingly replied that his kid needed a mom anyway. The words floated into the warm daylight almost casually, but neither of them realized how deeply they would remain in each other's hearts long after that afternoon ended. The following weeks became strangely different. Evelyn found herself inventing reasons to visit maintenance projects whenever Rowan worked in the building. She watched him patiently help elderly janitors lift heavy equipment, quietly repair broken chairs without charging extra, and encourage young interns who looked overwhelmed. His kindness never appeared forced. He simply believed everyone deserved respect regardless of position. Meanwhile, Noah greeted Evelyn with cheerful excitement whenever they crossed paths, proudly showing new drawings or telling funny stories about school. One afternoon, Evelyn visited Noah's elementary school after donating computers through her company's community program. She happened to see Rowan comforting Noah, who had become upset after classmates laughed because his lunchbox was old and scratched. Rowan knelt beside his son beneath the bright afternoon sky and reminded him that love packed inside a lunch mattered more than the container holding it. Noah wiped away tears and smiled again. Evelyn stood silently nearby, realizing she had never witnessed such gentle strength before. She had spent decades solving business problems worth millions, yet she had never learned how to heal a child's heart with simple words. As autumn approached, unexpected hardship struck Rowan's family. Noah developed a medical condition requiring treatment and regular hospital visits. It was not life-threatening, but the expenses quickly overwhelmed Rowan's modest income. He accepted extra jobs, slept only a few hours each night, and quietly sold many belongings without telling Noah. Despite constant exhaustion, he never allowed his son to see fear on his face. Every hospital visit happened during bright daytime hours, filled with encouraging smiles and hopeful stories about getting stronger together. Evelyn accidentally discovered the truth after noticing Rowan repeatedly declining work opportunities because of hospital appointments. Rather than offering charity that might damage his pride, she quietly arranged a long-term maintenance contract for her entire company through Rowan's small business. The agreement provided steady income, health insurance assistance, and flexible scheduling. Rowan believed his company had simply become fortunate enough to earn the contract through honest work. Only much later would he learn who had quietly opened that door. Months passed, and trust slowly replaced awkwardness. Noah began calling Evelyn his lucky friend because good things always seemed to happen whenever she visited. She attended his school art exhibition during a sunny spring afternoon when Rowan became delayed by traffic. Noah proudly showed her a drawing of 3 people standing beneath a giant tree with bright blue skies overhead. He explained that families did not always begin together, sometimes they found each other after helping one another through difficult days. Evelyn struggled to hold back tears while staring at the innocent artwork. Meanwhile, company shareholders pressured Evelyn to relocate overseas for greater profits. The move promised even more wealth but required abandoning community projects she had worked hard to establish. Everyone expected her to accept immediately. Numbers supported the decision. Investors demanded it. Yet during another peaceful lunch with Rowan and Noah in the rooftop garden, she realized success measured only by profit had left her emotionally bankrupt. Watching them laugh together reminded her that life offered achievements no balance sheet could calculate. The board meeting that followed surprised everyone. Evelyn rejected the relocation plan and instead announced expanded investments in local families, schools, and small businesses. Some investors criticized her decision, predicting financial disaster. Newspapers questioned whether the celebrated CEO had become too emotional. For the first time in years, Evelyn ignored public opinion. She had finally discovered that leadership meant improving lives, not merely increasing numbers. Not long afterward, Rowan learned that Evelyn had secretly created the contract that saved his business during Noah's illness. Instead of embarrassment, gratitude filled his heart. He thanked her not because she had given money but because she had protected his dignity. She believed in him when circumstances had nearly defeated him. That evening, under clear daylight fading into a gentle afternoon glow at a community charity picnic, Rowan admitted he had spent months wondering whether happiness could return after unimaginable loss. Evelyn confessed she had spent years surrounded by people but painfully alone. Together they realized neither had rescued the other completely. Instead, kindness had quietly built a bridge between 2 wounded lives until they reached the middle at the same moment. Noah, running across the park with joyful laughter, unknowingly became the final piece connecting their hearts. 1 year later, the rooftop garden where they first met hosted a celebration unlike any corporate event the building had ever witnessed. Employees, maintenance workers, security guards, executives, teachers, neighbors, and hospital staff gathered beneath bright daytime skies to celebrate not business success but human connection. Rowan stood beside Evelyn while Noah proudly held both their hands. There were no extravagant speeches about wealth or power. Instead, there were grateful smiles, shared memories, and quiet tears from people whose lives had been touched by simple acts of compassion. Before we reach the end, if this story has touched your heart even a little, please like this video, share it with someone who believes in hope, leave a heartfelt comment, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Journey. Your support encourages more stories that remind the world kindness still exists. As everyone prepared for a group photograph, Noah looked at Rowan and Evelyn with the same innocent confidence he had always carried. The little boy who once wished for a complete family no longer searched for something missing. Without anyone planning it, life had answered a joke spoken beneath a flowering tree many months earlier. The CEO who once whispered that she wished for a happy family had found one not through wealth or status but through compassion, patience, and everyday kindness. The single father who joked that his child needed a mother discovered that the greatest blessings often arrive disguised as ordinary conversations. Special request: please comment with one word, kindness, if you believe one small act of compassion can change someone's entire life. The photograph captured smiling faces beneath clear blue skies, but the real picture remained forever inside their hearts. It proved that broken chapters do not always become tragic endings. Sometimes they become beautiful beginnings. Families are not always connected by blood, and miracles rarely announce themselves with grand celebrations. More often, they appear quietly during ordinary daylight, hidden inside a shared sandwich, a child's drawing, an unexpected opportunity, or a simple joke that transforms into a lifelong promise. And that is why, even in a world filled with uncertainty, kindness will always remain the brightest path leading strangers home.